as I was going about my day playing Wuthering Waves like everyone else does, because frankly, who has the time for other games, am I right?
You mean to tell me this is the new region? Bro, this shit looks like Great Value Fontaine. There's no way this is the new.
When a sudden thought came to my mind, why are the characters named the way they are? And if they are, is there any meaning behind it? And so I got into researching. What I did find out is some of the characters actually match the meaning of their names, but some are also quite vague, probably has a much deeper meaning than I could ever hope to find out on my own. Or maybe there is no meaning, and I'm just delusional. There's also the fact of trying to remember every single companion quest in the game, but since I refuse to rewatch every single one of them, which is almost like a movie-length feature, I'll just leave it up to those who remember to fact-check me if I get anything wrong. I couldn't do the Resonators from Huanglong because Chinese was far too complicated and far too complex, and that's why I only did the Resonator characters, because if I included the Huanglong characters, this video would take me decades to make. Alright, let's get straight into it.
No, wait! Are you really willing to be a gun in someone else's hands? Carlotta!
The name Carlotta, or Carlotta minus 1T, is the Italian variant of the name Charlotte, which is the feminized version of Charles, which means free man. But in this case, it'd be free woman. I'm guessing the word free here probably isn't used in a literal sense, but more figuratively, because I can safely assume it refers to Carlotta freeing herself from the burdens of her own mind demons, her doubts, her worries, seeking validation from her family, and things like that, if I remember her story correctly. Once again, may I remind everyone I have the memory of a goldfish, so feel free to fact check me in the comment section below.
One day, the streets of Ragoon will be alive with the spirit of freedom.
Rochia is the Italian word for rock, but can also metaphorically describe someone as being tough in times of hardship or can weather through any storm. And that's it. That's literally all I can search up for her name. I was looking through her showcase and reading through the companion story quest to dig for more information that could possibly relate the name to the Resonator, and from what I can see, Rochia survived such hardship thrown her way when she was sent on a pilgrimage at such a young age, and still being able to be the person who she is today.
I resolve disputes in the Sentinel's name. I'll take care of it.
Now, Phoebe's name was pretty easy. Her name stems from Greek origin from the Titaness Phoebe, whose name symbolizes brightness and radiance. Google also says purity. In her REP, Resonance Evaluation Report, it states that her resonance ability allowed her to manifest light, refracting it into various forms of prisms. Even on the darkest nights, when the storm has snuffed out all the other light, she fills every room with a soft, radiant glow. A light so comforting, it conveys the very essence of hope in the darkest of times. As written in the Tenets of the Deep, such light must have always existed in her heart, a sign of her relentless devotion. If that doesn't correlate with her name, then I don't know what else does.
Me on this voyage to the world's end, my friend. Together we'll face that fleeting moment when the world turns upside down.
Brandt's name derives from the Old English name Brando and the Old Norse name Brander, pretty much where the word brand originated from, which all pretty much mean flame, fire, sword, or to burn in the Norse name's case. Either way, it's all related to fire and sword, which perfectly describe Brandt's main weapon and element in the game. These meanings then led to the creation of the word firebrand, which originally meant to burn firewood, but was later on used to figuratively describe a person who causes chaos. Now, of course, that has a bad connotation, but as bad as it may seem, over time the term firebrand slowly evolved into a more positive term, describing someone who has a fiery personality, stirs passion, excitement, and is fierce and relentless. And eventually, history put the two together, and now the name Brandt is interpreted as Firebrand, which I think perfectly describes Brandt's character very well.
Whether I am the bane of the wicked or the pure is yours to decide.
Canterella's name refers to a poison used by the House of Borgia during the time of Pope Alexander VI. It may have also derived from the Neo-Latin word Canterellus, meaning small cup. in which the poison was probably served in. It also may be related to the ancient Greek word cantharis, if I'm saying that correctly, referring to a substance called cantharidin. Also have no idea if I'm saying that correctly, which is an extremely potent poison that's produced by blister bees and Spanish flies. Fun fact time, cantharidin was used as an aphrodisiac back in them good old days. Maybe that's why Canterella oozes so much goddamn sexiness. Now, Zani's name is difficult because it doesn't exactly have an exact origin and there's not much info on it. The name shares similarities in Hebrew, Venetian, Italian, Albanian, with different variations of the name, but all roughly meaning gift from God or God is gracious. It also has an Arabic origin, Zanaya, meaning corner, whatever that may mean. It also means voice, fairy, or divine in Albanian. There's just not enough information that I could use to figure anything out. I guess we'll just have to wait and see until she releases and we do her companion quest to see if any of these meanings relate to her at all. Chacona's name is much simpler. Chacona's name is an Italianized version of Chacon, which is originally a dance of Spanish origin in the 1600s that was later eventually used as a musical composition in the 17th to 18th century. And it works really well because she is a bard, but I don't know if her character relates to this specific type of musical composition. Professional musicians, please let me know down in the comments. Now this is where it gets pretty difficult. I literally couldn't find jack squat about her name, and I even went as far as translating the names from Korean, Japanese, and Chinese. The Chinese translation of her name is Katushia, in which Google says it's absolutely nothing. But I got something out of the Japanese and Korean translations. Japanese to English translated to Cartesia, which refers to philosopher René Descartes, I hope I'm not pronouncing that wrong, founding father of Cartesianism, which I guess in layman's terms is the separation of mind and body and that they're two separate entities. Closest thing to relation I believe this has to Cartesia's name is the evil demon concept. According to this paper I found, it describes the concept as Descartes' evil demon is the main role of a thought experiment aimed to find out whether the indubitable truth does exist. According to this thought experiment, he supposes that no God exists, but an evil demon who deceives us about everything. As such, the evil demon is a liar, deceiver of a supreme power who deliberately deceives us. Well, it kind of makes sense. The Thernodian was known to be a being that spreads distorted beliefs by destroying someone from their very soul, since it doesn't fight through physical means, but through deception and manipulation. Seeing how Flirtilis has been fighting against the Thernodian's whispers, it's pretty safe to assume that the Thernodian could be considered the evil demon. In the Korean translation, it's Carteshua, and the closest thing I could find on that is the Order of Carthusia, which was a monk order, and I didn't look into that any further since it's nowhere related to Cartethia. Although Cartethia and Flirtilis are the same person, where one is a real name and the other is his holy name, I still wanted to delve into it if there was a possible meaning behind her name. Personally, I think it could be the evil demon concept, and it was pretty close, but I don't know if it's correct. I'll leave that up to the smarter people.
Come to me, mighty god killer.
Flirtilis' name, or also spelled as Flirtilis, translates to lily flower in French and is often used to depict heraldry, royalty, culture, purity, light, virtue, and sometimes chastity in French culture. The three petals are also believed to be symbolization of courage, honor, and loyalty, which are believed to be the 3 qualities of a knight. Heraldry is a perfect description of her since she is, after all, the Blessed Maiden, and is depicted on stained glass, for decoration, known for grand celebrations of the Carnival, and stopping the dark tide. Purity describes her pretty well since she bears the Blessed Maiden title, and that title stems from a Lady of Purity while also being Imperator's Resonator. Courage, honor, and loyalty as shown in a specific cutscene where she basically tells the horsefish Threnodian to kindly fuck off and goes into battle defending her beliefs and ultimately the people of Ragana. So what do you guys think? Do you think any of these names match the Resonator? Or is there some sort of deeper meaning that only Kuro games themselves know? Maybe I'm overthinking and there is no meaning at all. But besides that, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think are the meanings of these names and how they relate to the Resonator. Besides that, peace out y'all. Bye-bye.